Hello, everyone, and welcome to Breakthroughs with Bree. On this podcast, we are discussing all of the topics that help us have breakthroughs on our personal and spiritual development journeys. My name is Bree, otherwise known as Healing with Bree, and I'm a channeler, energy healer, tarot reader, astrologer, and soul alignment coach. My mission in my work and in this podcast is to help teach people how to shift their consciousness, how to heal, and how to release beliefs and patterns and fears of their ego mind so that they can step into alignment with their soul to live lives of abundance, purpose, and bliss. In these episodes, I will be sharing either through my own lens and my own channel or through the experiences of my guest, wisdom and expertise about healing, spirituality, psychology, personal growth, holistic wellness, mysticism, consciousness, and so much more. My hope is that these conversations help you feel seen and provide support and inspiration for you with your own personal breakthroughs. I hope you enjoy this episode. Hello, everybody, and welcome to this bonus episode of Breakthroughs with Bree. I have a lot of recordings that I've done recently where we are mentioning the different chakras of the body, and I wanted to do a little mini bonus episode that gives you a very baseline knowledge, a chakra 101, so that when you hear me and my guests talk about this, if you are totally new to the concept or maybe just want to learn a little bit more, that there would be a resource available to you to be able to get that level of familiarity and understanding. It's one of the first things that I learned about in my own spiritual journey. And I think it provides a really wonderful language to be able to understand the different energetic components of your own field and body. And as you're coming into spirituality and starting to understand sort of like the metaphysical experience of being human, understanding the chakra system will be so, so helpful. So I am going to share some images on the video. So if you are watching on Spotify, you'll be able to see this, or you can go to YouTube, my Healing with Bree YouTube channel to watch this, to be able to see some of the images I'm going to show. You don't have to do that if you're listening on audio. I'm going to explain it anyway, but just so you know, I am also going to be showing an image and referring to that as well. Before we get into the goods, I just wanted to remind you that I have my group program Flowmaster that is going to be starting in March. If you've not already signed up for the wait list, or if you've not already checked out my website to see whatever information is available, I highly recommend that. I'm really excited about this program because I'm going to be teaching people my flow formula, which is literally different components that you need in order to be in your like divine flow energy. It's the different components of your mindset and your energy field so that you're able to really tap into the magic of the universe and create a lot less resistance and a lot less struggle in your life. Most of us were never taught how to move through the world with strategies that are not control and fear. Really, the only strategies we were taught and that are normal in our society is to move through things with anxiety and with force and with fear. A lot of us learn perfectionism and urgency and all of these strategies that are keeping us really tense, that are draining our energy and taking us out of the present moment. And ultimately, we're not having the quality of life that we want to have. So this program came through and was put together to be able to help you, all of you people who want to be able to have a sense of peace, a sense of flow, and to learn how to actually release that tension, that scarcity, that anxiety, that urgency in your body that you feel throughout your day to day, to give you new strategies, a new way to approach your day. So you're still getting everything done that you know that you need to. And you're also feeling peace, you're feeling presence, and you're able to tap into your own intuition and how it's trying to guide you. You're trying to tap into the waves of magic that are trying to come into your life. And ultimately, this is going to make you so freaking magnetic for your manifestations too. So if you want to join that, it's a 6-week program. You're going to meet other people who are trying to do the same work. I'm sure people are going to be meeting their soul family there. You're going to not only get taught the information about it, you're going to get tools and techniques to how to embody it and recalibrate to that energy when you need to. It's going to be a great time. Healingwithbree.net is going to have all of the information available for that. And I highly encourage you to check that out if that's something that resonates with you, because I'm so excited to help people with this kind of energy, because it's something that I really deeply struggled with and I have made leaps and bounds on, and everything in my life is improving now that I am actually finding true flow with my life and in any given moment. So I'm really excited to teach that to all of you guys. So with all that being said, let's get into this fun little episode about chakras. All right, everybody, let's talk about chakras. If you're watching on video, I'm sharing an image that shows where the chakras are in our physical body and their colors and their names. I'm going to get into this in a minute. So, just to start off with, chakras refer to the different energy centers within our physical body and our energetic bodies. That's where we're starting, right? The word chakra is a Sanskrit word meaning wheel or circle, and it refers to the individual spinning wheels of energy, I say in quotations, located throughout the body. There's seven main chakras that are commonly understood and acknowledged in the body, and they represent the energetic nervous system of our body. There are actually, fun fact, there are actually a lot more than the seven chakras, but these are the main chakras that we work with. So we have our physical body, our physical nervous system, and throughout our body, our literal physiology, we have different organs in different places of our body, right? And some people might think before they come into like metaphysical and mystical things, like, oh, like, I just happen to have my heart that's beating stuff out in my chest, and I just happen to have my brain in my head, right? Or I just happen to have my sexual organs at the bottom of my body, right? In the lower half of my torso, and think that there's nothing else to it. But as we find when we come into the occult sciences or when we start looking at metaphysics and more of a spiritual take, that there's actually significance and meaning in everything. And what's really cool about the chakra system is that it helps us not only understand our energetic body and our spiritual bodies, but how that is connected to, like literally connected to our physical body. And I'm going to tell you more about that now. So, just to explain what we're looking at for those of you who are listening, there are colors associated with each chakra. There's a name for each chakra. And then each chakra is placed in a certain part of the body. It resides in a certain part of the body. So I'm going to go through that now. So starting with the top, we have the crown chakra, which is literally the crown of our head, the top of our head. And this is like a purple, violet, almost kind of like a purpley pink kind of color right at the top of the head. I'm going to go into the meanings after this, but we're just going to go through the basics first. The next chakra is the third eye chakra, which is located between your physical eyes on your forehead. And it is like a dark purple indigo, like a between a true blue and a true purple sort of color. Okay. Third eye chakra, middle of your forehead. Then we move down into the throat chakra, which is where the name would suggest, in your throat, and it is a blue color. Then we move down into the heart chakra, which is the middle of your chest. And just to be clear, these chakras are not just on the front of your body, they're literally taking up the whole space of your body. But just in general, the center of the chakra is in your chest, in your heart center. Next is the solar plexus chakra, which is the area of your torso that is pretty much above your belly button, from your heart down to your belly button, where most of your small intestines are, some of your large intestines, but most of your small intestines, right? Your stomach, all of that kind of stuff. Solar plexus, and the color is yellow. And I don't know if I said for the heart chakra, that color is green. So we go green, yellow. And if you're listening, you're like, wow, that sounds like the colors of the rainbow. You would be exactly right. And I will tell you how that's all connected in a moment. Then we move down to the sacral chakra, which is the area of your torso that is below your belly button. And this color is orange. So the lower part of your torso, your hips, all your sacral chakra. And that is an orange color. Down to your root chakra, which is your tailbone, your legs, and your feet. And that is a red color, your root chakra. Technically, your first chakra is your root chakra, and your second is your sacral, your third is your solar plexus. So technically, if you're going to like order them numerically, you would start with the root, but just based on this picture that we're looking at, started from the top going down. And yes, those are always going to be in order of the rainbow, starting with red, going to purple. So that is the chakras and where they are in your body and their names. All right, if you're on video, you're watching me share a different image now, the emotional vibration chart, and I'm leaving this up to make a point about how all of it is connected. So the idea behind all of this is, of course, that everything is energy, and it's all energy that is vibrating at different speeds. If you're kind of like a physics buff and you've heard of the concept of oscillation, that's like on a graph, a line that goes down and then up and down and up, kind of like a roller coaster, right? And that is a graph where you would measure the speed of energy, right? And the colors are just visual representations of different speeds of energy in light. right? So again, I'm making this point to just kind of like connect it all back together. The color red and the things associated with the color red, and which again then connects back to what we understand about the chakras, represent some of the quote unquote lower vibrational energies, which I don't say lower and mean that they're bad. I just mean that they're slower vibrations or slower oscillation of energies, right? Are in the root chakra. And the other thing that's associated with the root chakra is it being as close to the earth energy, like actual material 3D energy, because everything that's in this 3D material worlds is the slowest vibration. Okay. It's the highest amount of density, the lowest vibration, right? Again, I'm not saying that as like a moral thing, but like to literally describe the quality of it. Okay. So that's where we start with red. We move through the color spectrum, which is moving through different speeds and oscillations of energy, move all the way up to purple or violet, which is the last color that we can see on the spectrum with our human vision, aka with our human senses. Okay. So violet, purple, is the color that has the highest vibration, that has the fastest vibration, the fastest oscillation of energy. Okay. And that is at the top of our head, our crown chakra. Again, that's where that chakra that's associated with that color is. Now, are there energies that exist that are past the speed that the color purple is associated with? Absolutely. Ultraviolet light, right? there is there is energy that of course is past what our physical human senses can see and experience through our physical senses, right? And we do have the ability to connect with those energies and experience those energies since we are spiritual beings just living in a human body. But the way that we're going to experience them is not necessarily going to be through our physical senses as much as they're going to be through our spiritual senses, aka our psychic senses. So, but as we're talking about how our energy or energetic nervous system is connected to our body, of course, it makes sense that we're working with energies that we can sense with our physical body because they're connected to our physical body, right? Any energy that's past that, our physical body isn't going to be able to match, isn't going to be able to channel through unless it's coming down into the frequencies that the matter that our body is can actually house. I know that got a little bit scientific. Try to make that as simple as possible. But here's the other cool thing to understand about the different vibrations of energies and how they're all connected. Okay. So the color red, what we would associate with our root chakra, is a certain frequency of energy that's also the hertz, the HZ, that's like at the end of numbers when they talk about frequencies of energies, which is really sound, which is how sound healing is also really impactful to our energetic body. The hertz, the frequency of something, has a correlation with the color red. The color red has association with certain emotions, which is moving energy through our body that is at the same hertz. So on this graph that I'm showing you, it's the human vibrational chart and it has the number of the hertz for each color approximately and emotions that can be measured at that same frequency. So on this chart at the very bottom in red, one of the lowest vibrational emotions we can experience is shame. We have the number 20, which I'm assuming is 20 hertz. Okay. Slowest vibration. We all know how shame feels. It's not a really fun one. I do have certain theories about the importance that low vibration, quote unquote, low vibration emotions play in our human experience. But again, just for the sake of like mapping out the connection with everything, shame has a certain vibration. The literal energy of shame moving through our body has been measured scientifically and has a frequency that is connected to, aka the same as the way that we would even measure something, the energy of light, red, 20 hertz. Okay. And as we move up this chart through the different colors and the different frequencies that are connected with those colors, we also get connected with different kinds of emotions. So the next one up, 30 hertz is guilt. It's a color kind of between red and orange. Then at orange, we have 50 hertz, apathy. We move up into the yellow space, kind of connected with the green, and we come into grief, 75 hertz. We come up more into the green space at 100 hertz. We have fear, 125. We have desire still in the green space. We move kind of into this like turquoise, green, blue color, and we have anger. We move up 175 a little bit more solidly into the blue sphere of energy, and we have pride. We move up into more of a dark blue energy. At 200, we have courage. Up above that, an even darker blue, we have 250, which is neutrality. We're moving higher and higher up into emotions that have faster oscillations, higher vibrations of energy. Okay. Neutrality, 250. Then above that, we have willingness, 310, squarely in the dark blue, sort of indigo space. Above that, at 350, we have acceptance. Above that, starting to get into the purple violet, we have 400, which is reason. Above that, we have 500, squarely in like an actual purple, and we have love. Above that, at 540, we have joy. Above that, kind of getting into almost like a pink energy, we have like truly a violet. At 600, we have peace. And then 700 plus, they categorize as enlightenment. Okay. So I wanted to explain the connection between color and frequency and energies in our chakras, because it's really important when we go into the chakras that this is not just some arbitrary system. This system is actually connected to scientific measurement of energy, not just out in the world, but also in the way we experience energy, which is through emotion, which is energy in motion through our physical body. Okay. I think it's really cool to kind of have a basis for how those are all connected. On my last note, I'll make about the emotions and how they're, different vibrations of energy. I will say that when we're trying to connect with energies outside of this range, the rainbow range that we can see with our eyes, like ultraviolet and beyond, which is also frequencies of energies that are tend to be like spiritual beings or, the realm of possibilities or even loved ones on the other side, right? Like those are very high vibrational energies for us to connect with, and we know this because they're not in the physical world. If they were in the physical world, they'd be one of the energies that's in this rainbow spectrum, because we'd be able to see them with our senses. If we can't see them with our physical senses, higher vibration, right? In order for us to have more of an open field to be able to connect with that information and then bring it into our reality, we have to be up in one of these higher vibrational feelings, one of these higher vibrational states, in order to be able to match that frequency to connect with it in the first place. So in the spiritual world, when people are talking about, be really high vibe and stuff, like, or you got to be high vibe if you want to be intuitive, or you got to be high vibe if you're going to be a healer or something, right? That's to me very basically how I would interpret how some of that language comes in there. Does that mean that you want to never be a low vibrational energy? Absolutely not. If you've listened to my stuff, I'm not about spiritual bypassing. I'm not about let's avoid shame and guilt and apathy and grief and fear. Like that's just not my style. And I don't think that's the point of the human experience, is to escape those things. Those things do play an important role. But where do you want to reside? Where do you want your center to be? Right? Where do you always want to return back to? And I think our natural state is to be able to, what's going to feel best is going to be in some of these higher vibrational emotional energies. So with that, I'm going to switch up this image that I'm sharing, and we're going to talk about the chakras specifically. All right, we're back to talking about the chakras. Now, each of the chakras has their own image, has their own symbol, and of course the colors that I talked about. And there's many associations that sort of categorize all of the different energies that are connected to those things. And therefore, to each chakra, I have a chart up on my video right now, and I'm going to talk us through that. So I'm going to start with the root chakra. So the root chakra, with its red energy, its red color, represents our base material safety, like our physical needs, our physical necessities. And if we think about that logically, philosophically, right? The things, our most fundamental needs as humans are represented in our root chakra. Okay, they're always going to be connected to there. And the fun thing about when you start to understand what energies and what core needs we have and what core human experiences that we have that are connected to the chakras, you also understand how you can tap into those kinds of experiences within your physical body. And when we're feeling blocked, how those will literally manifest as physical symptoms in these parts of the body. This has been shown over and over again for thousands and thousands of years. This is a very ancient wisdom that no, it does not come from white people. It comes from the East. It comes from India, at least the chakra system that we use now. And we're just now starting to accept it and learn about it and integrate it into our lives, which I think is always really important, to honor the roots of where things come from as a way to be able to honor and really integrate its understanding. So when we understand these energetic centers in our body, we are better able to manage our own energetic health. We are better able to manage our own energetic hygiene, and we're better able to sense where there might be things that are off, out of alignment, blocked, and we're also able to really tap into the full power that those energy centers want to offer us when we have a certain goal or thing that we're trying to bring through. Okay. So with the root chakra, our base material needs. Okay. The themes that are associated with this are survival, security, family, connections, our instincts. When we are in a little bit of control energy or fear, like this, these are things that tend to show up in this chakra. And the parts of the body that are connected with the root chakra, the spinal column, the rectum, legs, bones, feet, and some would say a little bit of the circulation system too. And there's also like certain organs. I think the adrenals are associated with the root chakra. There's so much you can look into, and you can just Google this stuff of what is connected with all of these chakras. So if you are feeling that there might be an area and that's connected to one of these that you have a little bit of a hard time with, and then you go look it up and you're like, wait, I literally have a physical ailment that is connected to that, and your mind will be blown. It's really cool. There are affirmations associated with each chakra too. The affirmations associated with the first chakra would be I do or I am. And ultimately, again, any part of our experience that has to do with our ability to feel safe or like we belong, and the things that support that, like our sense of community or money, all connected to the root chakra. And when people talk about grounding, really what they're talking about is having an open and active root chakra, so that the energy that comes and this gets caught almost like a funnel in your crown chakra can move all the way through your body and then get released out of your root chakra down into the earth. Okay. It's really important to have the top and the bottom chakras open and moving. I mean, it is for all of them. I don't know if anybody's seen that Avatar episode where they talk about the chakras. A really fabulous episode. It's in the final season, and they equate it to like a river that has like little mini waterfalls and little pools. After the waterfall runs off, it's in a pool and then it runs off into the next waterfall. And when one of those is blocked, then all of the water starts to build up and the flow of the whole river is disrupted. And it can happen in any one of those little pools and like waterfalls, right? It's fabulous. If you can't tell, I'm a huge Avatar fan. So anyway, root chakra, important to have open. This is where grounding happens. Belonging, safety, money, very important part. For men, this is where their sexual organs are connected to, but for women, it's connected to their sacral chakra, which is the second chakra. So this, again, the color is orange. It has associations with creativity, sexuality, specifically female sexual organs are connected to this. Their relationship with money can be connected to this one as well. Being able to connect to your emotions, connect to a sense of joy, connect to a sense of pleasure, and also is one of the start of our ability to feel power. It's a very, very important chakra. Some of the physical parts of our body that imbalances in the sacral chakra will manifest as in sexual organs, especially for women, in your large intestine, in your lower spine, in your pelvis, in your hips, and your urinary system. All of these, I think in your kidneys too, is also associated with the sacral chakra. All of these are connected to this part of your experience that has to do with you being able to really feel your emotions in your body somatically, for you to be able to bring through and create things and have a sense of creativity, have a sense of joy and playfulness, for you to feel pleasure. And that is especially through your senses, for you to feel pleasure. It's not just sexual pleasure, but sensory pleasure too, right? And all of that is connected to your sacral chakra energy center within, again, your body and your energy fields and your spiritual fields. The affirmations associated with sacral chakra are I feel and I want, because again, emotions and desires, sacral chakra stuff. Okay, coming up to the third chakra, the solar plexus. Color is yellow. Their themes that have to do with this solar plexus are your personal power, your self-confidence, your self-esteem, your ability to make things happen, your ability to like enact things, your sense of personal authority happens in this solar plexus chakra. It's like your personal sun in the middle of your body, the yellow of your digestive system. Now, the places in your body where your solar plexus energy is connected to is your stomach, your pancreas, your upper intestines, your liver, your gallbladder, your middle spine, And if you think about all of the organs and things in your body that have to do with you digesting, like breaking things down and turning them into energy and particles that you can then use to power you forward, right? I just described what our digestive system does. Like the organs that support that are also connected to the metaphor of our solar plexus chakra, our ability to enact and create power and create energy kind of for ourselves through that ability to really enact things and have that self-confidence and that self-esteem about our ability to do stuff. Affirmations are I can and I do. Okay, fourth chakra is the heart chakra, green in your chest area. Okay. Associations with this are love, compassion, connection, love, hope, forgiveness, another money center. But this one's a little bit more about like being connected and receptive. It's like a different take on money than necessarily the root chakra. They're both important. Really, all of them are important for all of the things, but green associations with abundance and that feeling of being able to feel the sense of wealth, definitely in the heart chakra. Now, we will see connections with the heart chakra with physical symptoms that might appear with our actual heart, our circulation system, our ribs, our thymus gland, our lungs, shoulders, hands, arms, and diaphragms. Because yes, your arms are an extension, your hands are an extension of your heart chakra. Okay. The affirmations for this are I love, which I love to see that. And it's a very powerful chakra because it is right in the middle. So you have your upper three chakras, your crown, your third eye, and your throat. And then you have your lower three chakras, which is your root, your sacral, and your solar plexus. Again, like philosophically, esoterically, there is a significance to your upper chakras and your lower chakras, and your heart is the connection point between both of them. It's where they both meet, and the information from one sort of dimension of experience passes down to another dimension of experience. If your lower chakras are more about your embodied experience, the sort of like 3D things you have to do, and your upper chakras are more about sort of the spiritual or 4D elements, the mental elements of your experience. Your heart is the place in your physical body and your energy field that connects and integrates the two of them. It's a very important part of the body, very important part of the energy fields. And yeah, one of the most magical for sure. Then we come up to the fifth chakra, which is the throat, blue energy. This has to do with our willpower, our communication, our inner voice, our sense of speaking truth, and also expressing our creativity, kind of like owning our own story. So, of course, it makes sense that it would be like our communication and our voice, since it's literally where our voice box is in our physical body, right? But there's another element to the throat chakra that I just find really interesting. In order for us to actually say something out loud, we kind of have to claim it. It has to be something that we're willing to go from inside of us out into the world, right? It has to be something that we feel enough integrity about, hopefully, if we're channeling this in an embodied and authentic and way that feels like it's an integrity, then what we're sharing and speaking out is our truth, right? And there's also our ability to actually own something and speak it and put it out to the world, at least through like the vocal cords, through the vibration that is sound, right? Throat chakra, blue. What's interesting is blue is a center of empathy. And for those of you who are fans of Mystic Michaela and her aura colors, there are absolutely correlations with the colors that she sees in auras and the chakras. I don't think she's talked about that a ton, but as somebody who has followed her for a very long time and intuitively is like really tapped into and loved the information she's channeled through, that paired with my knowledge of the chakras, there are 100% correlations. The way that I would say it is that the energy, the affinity of these colors, which represent, of course, energies that's more than just the color that we see, represent the gifts and the innate abilities and talents and perspectives that the aura colors that she sees embodies, right? So it's kind of like we lean on a certain energy the most, and she's able to see that through color because the energy that we have is a similar vibrational match to that color, right? Like the ability for us to see it through our senses is through the color, right? But really the color is just a representation of the energies that we're talking about, right? So anyway, just a fun little fact for all of my MMSF family. So anyway, blue, very empathic. What I think is really interesting about the color blue being associated with empathy is that we actually become really sensing of other people's truths. We become really sensitive and sensing of what other people have decided for themselves in their own willpower, right? Which are the things that are associated in the throat chakra. And sometimes our when our throat chakra gets a little bogged down, and I see this when I do a lot of energy healing, is that we've picked up too many other people's throat chakras. Like we picked up their cords and we're like holding on to a lot of cords in here instead of letting our own cord fill the space and be what vibrates out. What we're talking about and what we're preoccupied in is everybody else's stuff instead of claiming and speaking our own. Right. And there's a balance. There's a way to be a balance with both of those, of course. But sometimes people with a lot of blue energy maybe lean a little bit more that way, if that makes sense. The organs that are associated with the blue fifth throat chakra are the throat, the thyroid, the esophagus, the trachea, the mouth, the jaw, the teeth, the neck, and then the vertebrae that are, of course, on that part of your neck. What's really interesting is shoulder pain, which a lot of people get, is often associated with like the connection between the head and the heart, right? And sort of a block of energy that happens when we're not finding a balance between the two of them, and the way that that moves through the chakras and around the area of both the heart chakra and the throat chakra. So just a little mention of that. Now, the sixth chakra, the third eye chakra, which is like an indigo, deep blue, kind of purple energy. This is the center of psychic consciousness, of wisdom, of our intuition, of our ability to visualize, as well as the power of our mind. A lot of people who have a lot of strong psychic senses have really good third eyes, have really open third eyes, I should say, not good, because there's nothing that's good or bad about any of these. But our ability to really sense information and to start to process it, to actually start to be able to understand it enough to visualize it or give a name to it or start to describe it. Like all of that happens in the third eye chakra, which is a fabulous place as somebody who is an indigo aura. So I got a lot of this third eye energy. Some of the organs, physiology that's associated with the third eye chakra is our brain, our nervous system, our eyes, our ears, I know, our nose. And I think they say that the pineal gland is like actually literally in the spot of the brain where we say the third eye chakra is. So like if people do brain maps or they're doing like scans of some sort and they're doing really intuitive stuff, their third eye, which is literally the part of the brain like right at the front of their head where the third eye is, starts to like blare, starts to go off, the energy starts to get a lot bigger. There's a lot more blood flow to those areas. So very, very fascinating stuff. The affirmations for the third eye chakra are I know and I think, and I don't think I shared them for the throat chakra. Affirmations are I speak and I express for the throat chakra. Okay, so that's the third eye. And then the seventh chakra is the crown chakra, that violet purple color. This is our spirituality, our spiritual center. This is enlightenment. This is unity. This is connection with that which is bigger than us. Okay. Again, if we think about our crown chakra as kind of like the funnel that opens up so that we can connect with some idea or some information that's bigger than just what's locally in our own human brain, the crown chakra is like the funnel at which that starts to come into our body. Right. So our ability to kind of see the bigger picture or connect with that which is bigger than us, or for us to be able to connect to other beings and, bring through a lot of spiritual gifts or spiritual energy, like that's all coming from the universe, you could say. And our ability to connect with the universe, spirit, God is in our crown chakra in this violet purple energy. The parts of the body associated with this is the nervous system, the muscular system as well, and the skin. And I do think that there are also parts of the brain specifically that people associate with the crown chakra as well. I think it's really fascinating that the nervous system is part of this, because I've always felt like the nervous system is the intermediary between our spiritual, energetic body and our physical body, right? And so the fact that that's the intermediary, and we literally, according to sort of the concepts of chakras, receive it through our crown chakra, receiving it through our nervous system, makes perfect sense, which also plays into why it is so friggin' important to take care of your nervous system, learn to listen to your nervous system, to nurture it, to regulate it. But and you hear me talk about those things all the time. The affirmations for that are I am, and I understand. Also, I am connected. Some people say that's crown chakra, some people say that's heart chakra. I am connected is another one in this. Okay, so there's a lot more I could go into them. And honestly, this episode has gone even a little longer than I was imagining that it would, because you can talk about how physical ailments and sickness, which is really just imbalances in the body, are directly connected to their chakra and their meaning. And for you to be able to find healing, AKA find balance, AKA find homeostasis in your body, will be connected to you finding balance in the expression and the flow of those energies and those parts of yourself that are associated with those chakras and with wherever you're manifesting whatever that sickness or dis-ease is. So it's a fascinating thing to understand. In the podcast episodes, we talk about how in the human experience or in our culture right now, we are very focused on upper chakra stuff, right? Our ability to think and visualize and mentally understand something, or like spiritually connect to inspiration or whatever, which is like a very, crown and third chakra stuff, or even our ability to speak it and start to like claim it as a part of our story and like all that kind of stuff. It's all very upper chakra. And people feel really frustrated about like why they can't manifest it into the physical world. Well, as we talked about, the where we are connected to the physical world is in our lower chakras. So there's a lot of work to be done to be able to pull down energy and information and ideas all the way through the chakras, all the way down through your root chakra, aka ground. Do more grounding. And why somatic work and somatic healing, which gets you back into the body, into your senses, aka into connection with your lower chakras, especially your sacral and your root chakra, is becoming so prominent because there's such a disconnection in our society from these lower chakras and from integrating in our day-to-day experiences the kinds of activities and the kinds of experiences that help us really maintain a lot of energetic health in these chakras. So that is a little 101 on chakras. Yeah, I think just to sum it up, they're the different energy centers of your body. They're like your energetic nervous system. They represent different parts of your experience as a human holistically. That's both physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, and how that energy flows through your body, both physically and again, energetically. And it's such a fascinating and important thing to understand when you're first coming into awareness of the fact that you are an energetic being, a spiritual being that gets to live this life in the human body. And we start to stop over identifying with just what we know about the physical body in Western culture, which is a lot, but also there's a lot we don't know. And starting to understand the capabilities that you have, even in your human body, to connect and manage your energy and your health in a way that is cognizant and takes in the whole part of you, the spiritual, the energetic, like all of that part, and not even just the physical, because you need all of that to actually tune to the health of all of the pieces. So those are the 7 chakras. I hope you enjoyed this. I love getting to see and work and learn more about this when I'm doing a lot of energy healing with people, since I am Reiki certified. That's really fun. If you're more interested, I definitely recommend getting Reiki 1 certified, which helps you do Reiki on yourself. You learn a lot there. It gives you a whole tool to be able to come in and balance the energy in your own stuff. And just in general, this is something you could totally Google and read a book about and get so much from. So anyway, that is a bonus episode on the chakras. I hope this helps give you information that's supportive to you. I hope it helps you have breakthroughs on managing your own health and balance and energetic hygiene, as well as prepares you for some of the really cool episodes that we have coming up, where we talk a little bit more about the chakras. Let me know if there are any other topics that you want me to talk about in a major episode or maybe even in a bonus episode. I love getting your suggestions, and I also love hearing your feedback on the episodes. So don't hesitate to DM me at Healing with Bree, or maybe even send me an email, because I genuinely love hearing from all of you guys. All right, that's it. Bye. Thank you for listening to this episode and for tuning in to Breakthroughs with Bree. Please share your favorite episodes with your friends and loved ones, and please like, subscribe, and rate the podcast on whatever platform you're listening to it, as it helps me continue to create these episodes to help support your breakthroughs. I would love to stay connected with you, so please follow me on social media at Healing with Bree. Please check out my website at healingwithbree.net, which will always have the most up-to-date information about the services that I'm currently offering. And please consider using the link in the show descriptions to subscribe to my email list, so you can be the first to hear about any offerings and get all of the free resources that I offer, as well as get my weekly channeled messages. My deepest love and gratitude to you, and I can't wait to have more breakthroughs with you next week.